regarding the plus loan situation. As many of you know, Dr. Depp's on this slide is in the middle of on our way out to a new career opportunity at the institution, and so I have been asked by the Secretary and Undersecretary Cantor, to our team at least, to lead the effort going forward as it relates to plus outreach and plus information to institutions and parents as we move into this next school year. We are working from an assumption at this point that most students and parents who are going to be receiving plus loans for the current school year, and some of you may call it current or almost ending, 12-13, that has happened, and that hopefully those students and parents who are going to take advantage of whatever opportunities that has happened and they are wrapping up this year. So I want to talk about going forward into this current 13-14 academic year and what that means and the efforts that we will be having at the department, particularly in federal student aid, through our team and reaching out to institutions. There are basically three parts of what we're calling a plus enhancement process. One, first is the communications campaign, and this campaign is going to be implemented in two phases basically. Phase one will start later this month and will encourage those applicants that were originally denied the plus loans beginning with this year to appeal. In addition, there will be a paper mail campaign that will also at the same time go out to declined applicants without valid email addresses. One of the challenges that we had in this past year in reaching out was we used a tool of email addresses, which for many of our parents and students obviously was not the most perhaps accurate way of getting out, but we're on a time constraint. And part of the challenges that were associated with this issue, as you may recall in the fall, was the timing of it, of when it happened and getting students on board. Next, we're going to fully implement an automated correspondence package that will go to identified applicants to inform them of their option to appeal. The timeline indicates that we're going to have all of this in place by June 28th of this year, just ahead of the peak application season. However, because many schools are already into this process, we're going to do some things in the interim that we believe are going to assist students and parents. One of the basic things we'll be doing this year is we will be involving the actual student financial aid administrators at your institutions more directly in the process of understanding who is eligible for the extenuating circumstances review. We are starting a process in which we're going to provide the aid administrators at each institution. Eventually we'll have a code within our system, what we call our common origination disbursement system, that will notify schools of this. But starting out, we're going to have reports that will be produced on a weekly basis. And quite frankly, we believe the reports are going to be more useful. For many of our under-resourced schools, the idea of having to go in and pull down a report using codes and all of that is a challenge. And so we believe the idea of just having a report that they'll be able to go out and receive and pull in and know who the parents are that qualify for a possible denial override is going to be a better option for those. This process, we believe, is going to meet the needs of all of our schools and will be a preferable solution, as I said earlier, particularly for those institutions that are resource constrained. We're also going to generate reports for school informing them of the students. So it won't be a situation in the school trying to figure out, well, who should appeal or who should not appeal. They will get that report weekly, daily, and something that we call, without getting too detailed here, we have something called an SAIG mailbox, which all the aid administrators are aware of, and they'll be able to reach out and get that report. In addition, we will post what we call notices or IFAP notices that will be detailed our technical assistance and training for those particular schools and institutions that may need that. I brought some schedules today. I'm going to ask my colleagues to pass that if we run out of these, and please we'll get some more copies made. We've got two schedules of training opportunities that are going on. This is based on the requests that we had from in our communications with the CBC, in our communications with all of the associations, with NAFIO, UNCF, Thurgood Marshall. One of the questions that came up was, how are parents and students and institutions going to know about this? So there are two sets of schedules that are going around that they're passing out to you. One is a set of schedules that talks about 6 or 7, I believe, institutions starting out at Spelman College in Atlanta this Wednesday. These are sessions in which we are reaching out to financial aid directors at historically black colleges and universities. We're pulling them together in a morning session in which we're going to be going over all of the technical support that's going to be available to make sure that the aid administrators know exactly where to go to get the reports they'll need. That's a series of workshops that said it starts this week, I believe in Spelman, and then it goes on to several other locations across the Southeast. You can see those, I believe it's New Orleans and South Carolina State and others. About 6 workshops. Along with those workshops in the morning, we will be bringing together area financial aid directors in the mornings for a morning session to go over all of the support mechanisms to make sure they understand those. In the evening of each of those sessions, those days in the morning, that afternoon from 6 to 8, we will have a financial aid information session.